Field in the second inning. Now up in at-bat number 2. Came into tonight's contest hitting .279, 2 home runs, 9 RBIs in 16 games played. Calveric peering in, getting the sign from his catcher Alvarez. Now takes a glance back at Vu. The 0-0 pitch to Savoy. That one fouled right behind home plate.
And that one had some mustard on it there. We saw the starter Stossel go with the power fastball. I think power pitching is probably the plan coming in here in this ball game.
Calveric working out of the stretch with the runners on first and second here. We'll check Vu, who continues to dance on second base. Now the 0-1 chopped on the ground, even at 2 apiece on the RBI single from Keith Savoy.
And you can't ignore what happened at the back end of the play there. A careless throw by Brady Gumpf getting away toward the Cavaliers bullpen, allowing both runners to advance an extra base. And now with nobody out in a 2-2 ball game, Culpepper has guys on second and third.
Runners on second and third here, no out. Digging in the left-handed hitting third baseman Charles Crawford. Crawford struck out one of 5 Shane Stossel strikeouts in his 3 innings of work. Calveric deals the first pitch to him, finds the outside part of the plate in there for a strike.
I believe Crawford played here in Charlottesville last year. He's out of LaGrange, Georgia, Brown University, played infield for Ramon Garza's Tom Sox team last year.
I always like to see those reunion stories here in Charlottesville. The 0-1 pitch to Crawford. Looked at for strike 2. Calveric quickly up in the count, 0-2.
Cavaliers, of course, it's their first season here in the Valley League. They finally have an even number of teams. And nobody has to take an automatic day off.
Calveric comes set, checks the 2 runners, now deals the 0-2 pitch. Just misses the inside part of the plate. Now Crawford works the count to 1-2.
So the runner at third, Beeler, belongs to the starter Stossel.
Beeler on third, Savoy on second. 1-2 is the count here to Charles Crawford. The 1-2 offering.
Would have been a nice first out to get here with runners in scoring position.
Crawford has 7 RBIs on the season, has 2 more standing in scoring position. The 2-2 offering. Got him looking. Luke Calveric paints the outside part of the plate for a crucial first out of the inning.
And Mick Jagger would have been proud of that one, painting the black on the outer half. Big, big first out there for the Tom Sox.
Catcher number 48, Ryan Peterson.
Now it's the catcher, Ryan Peterson, stepping in. Peterson 0 for 1, struck out swinging to end the top of the second. Calveric checks the runners the first pitch to Peterson, misses high and away for a ball.
Sometimes that first out, especially if it's a strikeout, can really get the momentum going for the pitcher. We've seen the Tom Sox get out of a jam here already in this game. Let's see if they can do it here with the score still tied.
This would be a huge jam to escape. With runners on second and third and no out, Calveric picked up the first out on the last strikeout, but now falls behind in the count 2-0.
Peterson was a strikeout victim his first time at the plate against Stossel. Head in the count now.
Calveric gets a sign from Alvarez, now deals the 2-0 pitch. That one way outside for a ball, and Peterson up in the count now 3-0. And Luke, you have to assume taking all the way here.
Yeah, and I wonder if they might just put him on here to set up the force at any base here with 1 out. But it looks like they're going to see this at-bat through to the end.
Calveric gets a sign from Alvarez, now checks the 2 runners. Deals the 3-0 pitch. That one runs too far inside as Peterson jumps out of the way and will take the stroll down to first base to load the bases.
I call that a draw there for the Tom Sox. You don't really get hurt by the walk there by itself. You have a force anywhere. You can come home on a sharp ground ball to cut the run down, and you have the infield fly in effect as well.
Now it's a lefty and 9-hole hitter, Grayson Fitzwater. With the bases juiced and still one out here in the top of the fourth. Luke Calveric trying to get out of this jam and gets a first pitch strike here against Fitzwater.
Fitzwater, utility guy, first base, outfielder. He's the DH tonight. He's out of Suffolk, Virginia, plays at Virginia Military Institute.
He's 0 for 1 tonight, flew out in the third inning. Calveric now comes set, deals the 0-1 pitch, misses inside and low.
I was very close to hitting the foot of the batter there, which would have brought a run home.
Charlottesville has the corners in, Hinks and Boucher. The middle infielders, Edwards and Martinez, playing at double play depth. The 1-1 pitch to Fitzwater, outside for a ball. He is now up in the count 2-1. Fitzwater has struggled so far through 11 games, hitting just 161. Does have 5 RBIs, but comes up in a crucial spot, looking to give his team an early lead. The 2-1 pitch, this one lined out of play, which will even the count at 2-2.
If you're Lyndon Coleman, you really want to strike out here, set up the 2-out bases loaded situation in which you don't have to turn a double play to get out of it.
Reese Beheeler on third, Keith Savoy on second, Ryan Peterson on first base. 2-2 is your score here in the top of the fourth. The 2-2 offering that one line down the first base line and fair. That'll bring home at least 2 runners as motoring into second base is the DH, Grayson Fitzwater, with a 2 RBI double. And just like that, the Culpeper Cavaliers are up 4-2.
Well, the first baseman Boucher was hugging the line there. Probably couldn't have been positioned much better, but that ball couldn't have been hit at all any better by Fitzwater. They're the 9-hole hitter and a really, really nice double there down the line. And now that the threat's not over, it's still second and third with less than 2 outs.
Beheeler and Savoy coming to score it. Peterson standing 90 feet away, and Grayson Fitzwater with his first extra base hit of the season plates 2 in a breakout 4-run fourth inning. And just like that, now we're at the top of the order. Jack Terosian flares this one to left field. Making the catch is Brady Gumpf. His throw in a home in time for the out. Brady Gumpf nails Ryan Peterson, trying to bring home the 5th run of this inning, but a strong throw from the left fielder nails him in time.
And a great tag by Salvi Alvarez as well, right on the money.
We head to the bottom of the 4th inning with the Tom Sox now down 4-2. Stay tuned for more right here on Tom Sox TV. Johan Franco out for inning number 4 here, and now with a new 4-2 lead after his Culpeper Cavaliers put up a 4 spot in the top of the inning. Let's see what the Tom Sox can do here in the bottom, and starting things off, David Wiley, Salvi Alvarez, and Brady Gumpf, the 7, 8, 9 hitters in Lyndon Coleman's lineup.
Tom Sox got what you think could be a momentum boost on a double play on what could have been a sac fly to end the inning there.
First pitch to Wiley, misses high and away for a ball. Wiley reached on an error by the shortstop in the second inning and later came around to score. Franco working out of the windup now deals the 1-0 pitch. Once again, can't find the strike zone there on the breaking ball. Now Wiley up in the count 2-0.
Culpepper probably feels like they should still be batting right now, but we'll see the two men responsible for ending the inning, second and third in this Tom Sox fourth.
Franco gets a 2-0 strike across to David Wiley. Franco wanting to work fast here, instantly gets the ball and right back into his motion. The 2-1 offering. That one misses away again, and Wiley now in the driver's seat up 3-1. The 3-1 pitch to David Wiley gets the outside part of the plate, and now the count runs full to 3-2. The 3-2 on its way from Franco. Got him looking. David Wiley was ready to pitch the bat down to first base and take the walk, but he gets rung up for the first out here in the bottom of the fourth.
That's I think the fourth guy we've seen look back at the umpire after a called third strike, and two of them have been on either team. So you see both teams kind of doing that. That means the umpire's being consistent, and we've had a big strike zone tonight, but it's been a consistent strike zone from Rob Roop. So the hitters are going to have to adjust appropriately here through the middle and end of this game.
Franco's fifth strikeout so far in 3 1/3 innings. Now standing in Salvia Alvarez. First pitch at him, waves through a fastball. He's now down on the count 0-1. Alvarez walked and later came around to score in the second on the 2 RBI double from Kyle Edwards. Alvarez chops this one down the first base line, but just foul. Johan Franco working quickly here. 0-2 is the count. Now gets a sign from his catcher, Peterson. The 0-2 pitch, this one lined down the right field line and just foul. Keith Savoy gave it a look. That ball was just inches from being a fair ball, and an unfortunate break for Charlottesville, but a lucky break for Johan Franco.
And Alvarez would have had easily 2 bases out of that. Probably would have had to stop there given that he's the catcher running, but he's just kind of going with the pitch there, serving it into right, but just a little bit late.
Alvarez has 3 hits on the season, 2 of which have come in the extra base fashion. Does have a double and a triple. The 0-2 pitch from Franco to Alvarez got him looking. Back-to-back strikeout looking here for Johan Franco and David Wiley, Salvi Alvarez, the first 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth.
Alvarez knew that one. There was no look back to the umpire necessary. Uncle Charlie coming for a visit here in the middle of this ball game. Beautiful-looking breaker, dipping in for strike 3.
Now to left fielder and 9-hole hitter Brady Gump digging in. First pitch swinging is Gump as he lofts that into right field. Giving chase is the right fielder Keith Savoy, who puts it away for the third and final out here in the bottom of the fourth. Charlottesville goes 1-2-3 here as we head to the top of the fifth, with the Cavaliers still up 4-2. Stay tuned for more right here on Tom Sox TV. Cavaliers put up a 4 spot the last time they came up to bat. Let's see what they can do here in the top of the 5th, and leading things off, the shortstop and 2-hole hitter, Connor Butler. Butler 0 for 2 on the game so far. Struck out swinging in the first and popped up to Bryce Martinez in the 3rd inning. And first pitch swinging is Butler, and foul tips that right back into the mitt of Salvi Alvarez.
Butler out of Chesapeake, Virginia. Same place as Kyle Edwards of the Tom Sox.
Luke Calveric out for inning number 2. Steps off the mound. Now will step right back on. Before the pitch, we'll get time, and the catcher, Salvi Alvarez, will jog out to the mound to talk things over here.
Something with the signs maybe, and Radford down in Southwest Virginia, right next to Virginia Tech, and actually the alma mater of Frank Beamer, the former football coach, as well as ESPN's Marty Smith. And a conference charge there to the Tom Sox.
Calveric toes the rubber. Now deals the 0-1 pitch to Connor Butler. This one laced into left field, but not having to move a muscle is the left fielder Brady Gumpf, who puts it away for a loud out number 1.
Much more routine than the last play Gumpf fielded out there in left field to end that Culpeper top of the 4th. That fly ball and throw him out at home plate to cut down the potential sacrifice fly.
Now it's a 3-hole hitter, David Coppage, standing in. Coppage struck out in the first and singled, and later came around to score in the 4-run 4th. Calveric working out of the windup, the first pitch to Coppage, swinging on the first pitch, launching this one into right field, and putting it away is the right fielder Hollis Porter for a quick second out of the inning.
So the Tom Sox defense having a much easier go of it here in the top of the 5th. After that 4-run explosion by the Cavaliers in the 4th inning.
Now
it's Kien Vu digging in. Vu 2 for 2. A double in the 2nd and a single in the 4th. First offering to Vu. Finds the outside portion of the plate for strike 1.
Vu's been the thorn in the side tonight for the Tom Sox. A double and a single, and he advanced on that wild throw to home.
Calveric working out of the windup, the 0-1 pitch to him. Swing and a miss there by Vu, and Calveric just 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning.
He also had a nice play in center field to rob the Tom Sox of potential runs during that 1st inning.
The 0-2 offering. Swing and a miss. The Cavaliers go 1-2-3 here in the top of the 5th as we now head to the bottom of the 5th with the Tom Sox still trailing 4-2. Stay tuned for more right here on Tom Sox TV.
Leading off for your Tom Sox, the shortstop.
4-2 is your score here at CHO Airport Field. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by my broadcast partner, Luke Nadcarney. And Luke, it was an explosive 4-run inning for the Culpeper, but Charlottesville still with the 2 runs that they tacked on early in this contest.
And they settled in defensively. Now you've got to bounce back offensively from giving up the lead.
Johan Franco out for his 5th inning of work, and he starts out this inning with the ball as the leadoff hitter Kyle Edwards. Edwards 2 for 2 on the game, singled in the first and doubled in the second.
And this is the 3rd time through the Charlottesville order for the starter, and there's nobody in the bullpen.
Franco last pitch 1 inning against the Tom Sox back on June 18th. The 1-1 pitch misses away for a ball. Franco gets a sign from his catcher Peterson, now deals the 2-1 pitch. That one chopped on the ground toward the third baseman. Crawford makes a strong throw over to first base, and that one is bobbled and dropped by Reese Beheeler, so Kyle Edwards reaches to lead off the inning.
I'm not sure. I'm in this screened off position here in the corner, and I'm not sure if that was that throw offline to begin with, because it looked like he had time. It looked like a relatively easy scoop, but play unable to be made, and that benefits the Tom Sox.
Beheeler couldn't come up with the scoop. The throw was in the dirt by Crawford, and have to give credit to the speed of Kyle Edwards for running that ball out and legging it out, but Beheeler just couldn't come up with the low throw, and now it's Bryce Martinez stepping in as he watches the first pitch from Franco cross the plate for a strike. So Edwards has reached all 3 times he's been up. Martinez 0 for 2 with a fielder's choice and a flyout.
Franco cognizant of Edwards there on the base path as he steps off.
Edwards has a lot of speed, has swiped 13 bases, and we're going to get a pickoff move that doesn't come close. Beheeler had to jump up and snag that throw from Franco. Martinez came into tonight's game hitting .318. The 0-1 pitch right there on the outside part of the plate for a strike. Martinez quickly down on the count 0-2.
Ryan Peterson, the star of the show there, framing that pitch. I thought that was off the plate.
A lot of these catchers in the VBL do a fantastic job framing, and especially a guy like Salvi Alvarez. Edwards on the move. This one laced into center field. Vu tracking it all the way. Will put it away for the first out of the inning as Edwards has to retreat back to first base, but Bryce Martinez set down for out number 1.
Right idea there for the Tom Sox. If that ball's hit on the ground, you're staying out of the double play by sending the runner, but instead it's hit in the air directly at a fielder.
Now it's the power hitting Derek Williams stepping in. Williams tonight 0 for 1, walked in the first, also notched a stolen base. His second in the Tom Sox uniform before the first offering to Williams. Will get a pickoff move. Just keeping a close eye on Kyle Edwards on first base is the starting pitcher, Johan Franco.
Cavaliers now have someone up in the bullpen.
First pitch to Williams misses high for a ball. This is by far the longest outing for Johan Franco coming into tonight. The longest outing he had faced was originally against the Tom Sox back on June 4th as he steps off the mound and tries another pickoff move against Edwards, but in that outing he picked up the loss against Charlottesville, went 2 innings, allowed 4 earned runs and 6 hits. The 1-0 pitch to Williams in there for a strike, count now even at 1-1. Williams hitting .273, 2 home runs, and 6 RBIs. He's the VBL Home Run Derby champion. Edwards now with a big lead off first base. Stays put. This pitch bounces low in the dirt, but blocked by the catcher Ryan Peterson. So Edwards staying put on first base. Williams now up in the count 2-1.
This is a guy with more favorable double play odds if you're the Cavaliers and can get a ball on the ground.
Edwards off. He will be in time as Kyle Edwards, flashing the speed, beats the throw down from Ryan Peterson. And the Tom Sox have a runner in scoring position with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th.
Pitch was called a ball, too, high upstairs, and now a hitter's count for Williams.
Franco toes the outside part of the rubber. Now deals the 3-1 pitch to Williams. Can't find the strike zone is Johan Franco. So Derek Williams works his second walk of the night. which puts runners on first and second with still one out.
I think it's the outcome the Cavaliers will take there as we have time called and a visit coming from the dugout. Rather than giving up a hit, you set up the double play, infield fly, anything like that. Looks like, I don't know, if you don't normally see the coach sprint out to the mound if he's making a pitching change. And this is just going to be a quick trip for Brandon Mack, the Culpeper Cavaliers manager.
So with runners on first and second, it's a big spot for the cleanup hitter and first baseman, Alex Boucher. Boucher tonight 0 for 1, struck out in the first, walked in the third.
So we'll see if this pays off here for the Cavaliers, sticking with the starter, Franco.
Franco toes the rubber. Now his first offering to Boucher. Goes with the breaking ball. That can't find the strike zone and blocked in the left-handed hitter's batter's box. Franco comes set, checks the runners now, deals the 1-0 pitch. Once again, misses away, and Alex Boucher quickly up 2-0.
Mistake here, and the game's tied.
Boucher's yet to pick up an RBI in his first 9 games in Charlottesville and has 2 on the base pass in a 4-2 ball game. The 2-0 pitch from Franco, that one misses high, and Alex Boucher up 3-0.
If this were Texas A&M, we'd be chanting ball 6.
Have to be assuming that Boucher taking all the way here on 3-0. The 3-0 pitch right down Main Street from Johan Franco. Count now moves to 3-1.
Amazing when you can get it over right when you need it. Every pitcher seems to be able to do that.
Franco comes set, checks the runners, now gets the sign as the runners take off. Boucher swinging, laces this one in the left field gap, and that ball is gone. Alex Boucher drills a 3-run home run, which gives the Tom Sox a 5-4 lead here in the bottom of the fourth, and that ball got out of here in a hurry.
I said a mistake and the ball game's tied. I was wrong. That was a big mistake by Franco, and now the Tom Sox are back in the lead. It's 5-4.
Alex Boucher drills his first home run in a Tom Sox uniform, also picks up his first 3 RBIs, and just like that, after one swing, Charlottesville is now up 5-4.
So Kyle Edwards is normally the Old Dominion guy that the Tom Sox look to for RBIs, but it's his Old Dominion buddy there driving him in. And a crooked number goes up on the board here in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, Luke, you mentioned the mound visit before the at-bat against Boucher. Whether head coach Brandon Mack will regret the decision as the first pitch to Hollis Porter misses for a ball as Porter has to duck out of the way. But you talked about, is Culpeper going to regret it? And Alex Boucher gave them their answer pretty fast. The 1-0 pitch to Hollis Porter, chopped on the ground down the first base line and actually barehanded by Garrett Spikes.
You can only assume that they had a plan as well coming into this game. You know, we'll let you go through X amount of innings or 3 times through the order or whatever. This is the 3rd time through here.
Porter 0 for 2 was the 1-1 pitch. Misses for a ball as Franco tried to get the call on the inside part of the plate. To no avail, however. The 2-1 offering to Porter. Once again, trying to establish the inside part of the plate is Franco, but can't find the strike zone there, and Porter quickly now up in the count 3-1.
Porter likes to hug the plate. We saw him called out on an inside pitch.
The 3-1 to Porter, chopped on the ground toward the first baseman, Beheeler, who quickly takes it to the bag himself for the second out of the inning.
Tom Sox trying to reset the offense here after taking the 1-run lead on the 3-run shot by Boucher.
That was just a second home run hit by a Charlottesville player here this summer. The first was Derek Williams' go-ahead 3-run shot, and just that go-ahead 3-run homer that seems to be in Charlottesville's favor, displaying the power here at home.
And no small feat. This is known as one of the pitcher's parks in the VBL.
Now it's the left-handed hitting Connor Hinks, who waves through a first pitch from Johan Franco.
Picture Strasburg and think the opposite.
Charlottesville definitely not known for its home run prowess as Hinks lines that one down the third base line and foul.
It's funny when the Express come in here to play, we look at their home run totals, and then we have to remember that the size of the ballpark they play in.
That's exactly right. Hinks trying to avoid his third punch out of the ballgame. The 0-2 pitch from Franco. This one lined into left field for a 2-out single. Plate on the bounce is the left fielder Jack Tarosian, who relays the ball into the shortstop Butler, and Connor Hinks is on with a 2-out single.
Tarosian was playing real close to the line there. As looks like we're going to have a pitching change for Culpepper as time called, and second visit of the inning, so it's going to necessitate a change. But good piece of hitting there going with it. He knew he had a big gap in left center field, and now we'll see if the Tom Sox get some motion here on the pace paths or can get some more extra base hits to add to this 5-4 lead.
With Brandon Mack coming out to relieve his starter Johan Franco, we will step aside for a quick break. Stay tuned for more right here on Tom Sox TV. Austin Tomasini, the new pitcher for the Culpepper Cavaliers. And Luke, it's been an offensive explosion for Charlottesville so far in this inning after the 3-run home run from Alex Boucher. But Tomasini coming in here with Connor Hinks standing off first base. What do you have for me on the new reliever?
Oh, he's out of Mississippi State, and not a whole lot I have on him in front of me right here because he didn't really get a whole lot of work with the Bulldogs, who finished last in the SEC this year. But to the point about the offense and the explosion, Alex Boucher, of course, with the big blow. But the Tom Sox, right before that pitching change, resetting the offense and putting a runner on with a single here with 2 away.
Hinks standing off first base. He quickly takes off. Wiley first pitch swinging, but will ground that one down the first base line and foul.
David Wiley is wearing a Georgia baseball batting helmet. He's a native of Statham, Georgia. Plays at Wofford, but maybe he's a Dogs fan. So still celebrating those 2 national championships on the gridiron.
Most likely getting Garrett Spikes' helmet, the fellow Georgia Bulldog on the Charlottesville Tom Sox squad. Tomasini checks the runner, deals the 0-1 pitch, finds the outside part of the plate for strike number 2.
Tomasini, part of a Mississippi State staff that led the SEC in walks by a wide margin. I say led, they had the most issued, not the fewest.
Tomasini has walked 13 hitters this summer in 6 1/3 innings pitched as Wiley swinging on the 0-2 count, fouling that behind home plate. But Tomasini so far this summer, this is his 7th appearance, has tossed 6 1/3 innings, allowed 7 hits, 9 earned, 13 walks, 5 strikeouts, and pitching to the tune of a 12.79 ERA. Checks the runner Hinks on first base. Wiley grounds this one to the shortstop. Butler charging in, making the throw over to first base in time to retire David Wiley for out number 3. But not before the Tom Sox put up a 3-spot in the inning, thanks to a 3-run home run from Alex Boucher, as we now head to the top of the 6th with the Tom Sox leading 5-4. Stay tuned for more right here on Tom Sox TV. The Tom Sox lead 5-4 here in the top of the sixth, and leading things off for the Culpeper Cavaliers, the first baseman, Reese Beheeler. Beheeler so far has reached twice, hit by a pitch and walked in his 2 at-bats. He will be facing the same pitcher on the mound for the Tom Sox, Luke Calveric.
Calveric's done a decent job since coming in that tough 4th inning, putting out the fire, and he worked a good 5th.
First offering to Beheeler. Misses away for a ball. Calveric making his Charlottesville Tom Sox debut here. Tens William and Mary. The 1-0 pitch to Beheeler. This one grounded to the first baseman, Alex Boucher, who takes it to the bag himself for a 3 unassisted and the first out of the inning.
I think Beheeler is just glad he didn't get plunked again on that one. He's retired, but he finally put the ball in play there and wasn't a target for a hit by pitch.
So now it's the right fielder, Keith Savoy, digging in. Savoy 1 for 2. Singled and came around to score in his last at-bat in the 4-run 4th inning for the Cavaliers. He watches the first pitch miss in tight.
Native of Upper Marlboro, Maryland, hometown of Victor Oladipo.
The 1-0 pitch, once again, Calveric can't find the strike zone this time, trying to locate on the outside part of the plate, but to no avail. Calveric working out of the windup now, deals the 2-0. This one near the strike zone, but called a ball as Savoy up in the count, 3-0.
Tough break there. Thought that one caught the corner.
The 3-0 pitch on its way from Calveric runs too far in tight, and Keith Savoy works a 4-pitch walk.
Tying run aboard now here with 1 away. We'll see if there's motion here from the Culpeper base runners. Time called now, and Lyndon Coleman coming out to the dugout. There is a left-hander throwing in the Tom Sox bullpen. And the whole infield's coming in.
And it looks like we're going to get a new pitcher here in Charlottesville. So with Lyndon Coleman going to his bullpen, we will take a quick break, step aside, and detail you all about the new pitcher here in Charlottesville with the Tom Sox still leading 5-4. Stay tuned for more right here on Tom Sox TV. Lyndon Coleman calling upon the left-handed pitching Chris Arroyo for his Tom Sox debut, and he will face the left-handed hitting Charles Crawford. And Luke, what do you have for me on the new arm?
Well, strategic move here, lefty on lefty. We've seen Arroyo draw an RBI walk this season at the plate. Not much to speak of from the mound either here or at the University of Florida, where he pitched just 5.1 innings, but a lively fastball there to strike for a strike to start things off.
Arroyo working with the Gator connection, pitching new catcher Salvi Alvarez, who also attends the University of Florida. Arroyo with a pickoff move, trying to keep Savoy honest over there at first base.
Charles Crawford, former Tom Sox infielder from last year, plays at Brown.
Crawford hitting .245 coming into tonight's ball game. The 0-1 pitch from Arroyo misses down and outside.
It's out of LaGrange, Georgia. Way down yonder on the Chattahoochee for you Allen Jackson fans out there.
Crawford has a pair of punch-outs tonight, struck out swinging in the second and looking in the fourth. The 1-1 pitch from Arroyo runs too far inside for a ball.
Really don't want to let multiple runners on base with nobody out. That's where the Tom Sox got in trouble in the fourth, and clinging to a one-run lead here. This one's been back and forth.
5-4 is your score here in Charlottesville after the 3-run home run from Alex Boucher. The 2-1 pitch, Arroyo gets the call here against Crawford, and the count now evens up at 2-2.
A bit of a late call there by Rob Root. Pitch was at the knees. We've seen that go either way tonight.
Arroyo now gets a sign from his catcher, Alvarez. Now checks Savoy at first base. The 2-2 offering nearly plunks Crawford there as he bounces out of the way. And the count runs full here at 3-2.
I have no idea how that ball didn't hit him. I couldn't even see the pitch coming in, and I have no idea how Crawford was so nonchalant about getting it out of the way either.
The 3-2 from Arroyo to Crawford misses for a ball. Savoy was running on the pitch, but with the walk, he will take second for free. So now the Cavaliers have runners on first and second. Still just one out here in the top of the sixth.
Alvarez winged that ball down to second base, which was a dangerous throw because it bounced once, and players weren't down at second base. Kyle Edwards wasn't expecting to have to cover after the walk, and that's a live ball. Could have gotten out into center field. Tom Sox are fortunate it's just first and second now.
Now it's the left-handed hitting catcher Ryan Peterson with Savoy on second and Crawford on first base. The first offering from Arroyo drilled down the first base line, but foul.
We got Fitzwater on deck, who had the two-run double back in the fourth inning.
A trio of lefties at the bottom of the Culpeper lineup: Crawford, Peterson, and Fitzwater.
Explains the pitching change.
Lyndon Coleman trusting his gut, going with the left-handed matchup with Chris Arroyo. The 0-1 pitch to Peterson. This one flared into left field. Giving chase is the left fielder Brady Gumpf, who makes the catch for out number 2. Faking the tag was Keith Savoy on second base. But he will jog right back to the bag. But 2 quick outs here for Chris Arroyo, looking to get out of the 2-runner jam.
Exactly what the Tom Sox needed there. That was a breaking ball in on the hands. You're not going to be able to do much with that, as Peterson pops it up lazily in the left field, and now the Tom Sox have a big at-bat here. The 9-hole hitter has already done some damage here for Culpeper.
So now it's Grayson Fitzwater digging in. As you mentioned, Luke, Fitzwater doing some damage. Had an RBI double in his last at-bat, flew out to left field in the third inning. See, it watches the first pitch, off-speed pitch, cross the zone for a strike from Chris Arroyo. Fitzwater coming into tonight hitting just .161, had only 5 RBIs in 11 games played. Arroyo now checks Savoy at second. Now deals the 0-1 pitch, goes back to the off-speed pitch, nabs the corner once again, and Chris Arroyo feeling it here with the count moving to 0-2. Arroyo comes set, now checks the runners and deals the 0-2 pitch. This one grounded down the first base line, but well foul.
He's been coming inside with 2 strikes. We saw that the last at-bat.
Arroyo looking to maintain the Tom Sox 5-4 lead here in the top of the 6th. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Chris Arroyo fans Grayson Fitzwater and gets out of the 2-runner jam here to close out the top of the 6th. As we head to the bottom of the 6th with the Tom Sox still leading 5-4. Stay tuned for more right here on Tom Sox TV. Austin Tomasini out for his 2nd inning of work here, and he will face off against the 8-hole catching Salvi Alvarez. Alvarez so far tonight 0 for 1, walked, came around to score on the 2-run double from Kyle Edwards back in inning number 2, and struck out looking in his last AB, and he starts out at bat number 3. Looking at the first pitch from Austin Tomasini for a strike. The 0-1 from Tomasini. This one grounded toward the second baseman, David Coppage. Fields it on a bounce and makes the easy throw over to first base for a quick out number 1.
Alex, going back to that top of the 6th inning, you've really got to credit Chris Arroyo there. Coming in, the lefty to face left-handed batters, getting the job done, getting them out, and Lyndon Coleman managing that situation perfectly.
And for Arroyo, a guy who had yet to pitch so far here in Charlottesville, making the most of it, getting 2 guys out, also with the punch out to end the inning. Definitely impressive stuff from the lefty, Chris Arroyo. Now it brings up Brady Gumpf. Gumpf is up in the count 0-1. The next offering to him goes back to the breaking ball is Tomasini. This one finds the strike zone. The count is even at 1 apiece.
Gumpf gunned down a Culpeper runner at home to end that 4th inning. So a big player in this game.
Tomasini comes set, deals the 1-1 pitch, waved through by Brady Gumpf, and Tomasini up in the count 1-2.
And ever since that play, the momentum has been firmly with the Tom Sox.
Gumpf came up critical defensively, but a struggle tonight offensively. 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts. The 1-2 pitch misses low and in the dirt. Count now is even at 2-2.
Another one of those hometown players. He's a native of South Bend and plays at Notre Dame. In the shadows of touchdown Jesus.
Tomasini gets a sign from his catcher. Peterson goes back with the breaking ball. This one grounded through and into center field for a 1-out single for Brady Gumpf. Vu quickly gets that ball in, and Gumpf will reach for the first time tonight with a single up the middle.
You can't keep a good man down. Gumpf's put good wood on the ball the first 2 times he's at the plate, right at fielders. And he's had a nice play in the field, rewarded there with a base hit up the middle.
Now we head back to the top of the Tom Sox order with Kyle Edwards. Edwards has reached all 3 times tonight, singled in the first, hit a 2 RBI double in the second, and reached on an error in the 5th. First offering to him misses downstairs for a ball.
He will be featured on tomorrow's episode of On Deck with the Tom Sox ahead of the 7 o'clock first pitch with the Waynesboro Generals.
The 1-0 pitch to Edwards in there for strike number 1.
Of course, the Tom Sox and Generals used to do every July 4th here in the Valley League, moving that up a day so we can celebrate.
Tomasini checks the runner Gumpf on first base with a pickoff move. Gumpf back in with plenty of time.
Feels like just one insurance run would loom large here if you're the Tom Sox.
That it would, and Gumpf looking to be in motion, does have 2 stolen bases this year. The 1-1 offering to Edwards misses outside for a ball. Tomasini going back with the breaking pitch there, just couldn't get the call.
Yeah, that one was stayed up high, especially to a smaller hitter here like Edwards, who we have at the plate.
Another pickoff move to keep an eye on Gumpf, this time diving back head first.
Edwards just 5'11", so appropriate that he plays shortstop.
Edwards has really been impressive so far this season, hitting .313, has a home run, 11 RBIs, was named a VBL All-Star, but waves through a pitch there, and Edwards clearly frustrated with himself that he missed that fastball, but still has one more strike to play with the count now even at 2-2.
Frustrated there. He knew what was coming. He just couldn't catch up to it.
Tomasini checks Gumpf, now delivers the 2-2 pitch. This one lined deep and out of play down the first base line.
Edwards will take a little walk here. That was the second fastball that he knew was coming and he couldn't put in play.
The 2-2 on its way from Tomasini. Misses outside for a ball. That breaking pitch cut into the left-handed hitter's batter's box there. And now Edwards working with a full count here with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. The Tom Sox still lead 5-4. Tomasini checks Gumpf. Now deals the 3-2 pitch. Blows it right past Kyle Edwards for a out number 2. And a crucial strikeout here for Austin Tomasini.
They finally figured out Kyle Edwards. He reached on a couple of hits. He's put the ball in play each time he came to the plate, except that one. That's a big second out for Culpepper. You hear their dugout exhale a little bit here in the bottom of the 6th at the Tom Sox still clinging to this 1-run lead.
Now it's Bryce Martinez set to dig in for at-bat number 4 for him. Reached on the fielder's choice in the first inning and hit a pair of flyouts in the 2nd and 5th as Tomasini starts him out with a breaking ball that Martinez goes fishing for to begin the at-bat. Tomasini comes set, takes a look at Gumpf. Gumpf fakes stealing, but Martinez lines this one right back into the fence behind home plate, and he is quickly down 0-2.
Let's see if we get the runner in motion here with two strikes and 2 outs.
Gumpf has stolen 2 bases so far this season. Tomasini deals the 0-2 pitch, goes back with a breaking ball. Can't get the call there as he leaves it just a tad high.
So far, Gumpf, probably the player of the game for that outfield assist, making the margin what it is.
The 1-2 pitch to Martinez just misses there. Tomasini wanted the strike to be called, but doesn't get the call, and Martinez still up here. The count now even at 2-2.
Of course, to say nothing of Alex Boucher's 3-run home run.
Tomasini toes the rubber. Gumpf takes off here. Martinez chops this one down the third base line. That one will dribble foul.
Looked like the runner had a good jump there if that one could have been put in play, and would have been a tough play had it stayed fair. I think that's a break for the Cavaliers.
Gumpf was in motion on the last pitch. Let's see if head coach Lyndon Coleman puts him in motion once again. Tomasini deals the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. That one gets away from the catcher, Ryan Peter. That one is fouled from Martinez, and he'll still be up here with a count at 2-2.
That was a late signal from our home plate umpire. I guess it was more obvious to everyone on the field than it was to us up here, but you didn't see the runner break for first base, so he must have known he fouled it.
So we'll do the 2-2 count once again here. Gumpf standing on first base. He takes off, and once again, Bryce Martinez fouls this one out of play, and a big battle brewing here between Tomasini and Bryce Martinez.
Seen a couple of these earlier in the ballgame. We saw Kien Vu of the Cavaliers work a good at-bat for a double back in the first inning with many foul balls.
Gumpf once again taking off. Martinez lines this one down the first base line, and it's going to be a fair ball.
I think they called it. Darn it! I think they called it foul.
It was close from our vantage point up here, and the umpires both didn't make a signal, but they are going to rule this one a foul ball as Gumpf jogs back to first base. Martinez comes back to home plate here.
Not helping our case up here was first base coach Trayvon Smith vehemently signaling that it was a fair ball. And the runners, of course, the Tom Sox runners are gonna run like it was. So that's a tough break there. I don't know if it just to the right of the base it must have been, but might have been wishful thinking or trying to convince the umpires from Coach Smith more so than anything else.
Tomasini trying to get out of this bottom of the sixth inning and keep it just a 5-4 ball game. The 2-2 on its way. Gumpf once again taking off. This one way through and missed by Bryce Martinez for the back-to-back strikeouts of Edwards and Martinez. Tomasini limits the damage here as we now head to the top of the seventh with the Tom Sox still leading 5-4. Stay tuned for more right here on Tom Sox TV. The Tom Sox have a 5-4 lead here to start off the seventh inning of play. And before we go any further, I will toss play-by-play duties back over to my broadcast partner, Luke Nadkarni. And Luke, take us away through the final stages of tonight's ballgame.
Thanks a lot, Alex. Good job there during those middle innings. And it's going to be the top of the Cavaliers order here in the seventh inning, facing Chris Arroyo, the lefty, who came in and put out the fire for Lyndon Coleman's club here in the sixth, allowing the Tom Sox to hang on to this 5-4 lead that they carry in to the late innings. Terosian, the left fielder, is 0 for 3 today, a strikeout, a pop-out, and a fly-out on his scorecard, but he laces this first pitch into the gap in right center, and it'll sit down for a base hit, takes a wide turn at first base, but the Tom Sox center fielder, David Wiley, able to come in and cut it off to hold the hit to a single, but the Cavaliers start the seventh inning off with a base hit.
Well, it's tough to keep a hitter like Jack Terosian down, and mention that he was 0 for 3 before this at-bat, but coming into tonight, hitting .389, one of the top averages in the VBL, and that last at-bat just shows why. Jumping on the first pitch from Arroyo and lacing it right back where it came from.
Connor Butler, the shortstop, digs in. He squares around to bunt. As we might see that come into play here in these late innings, pitches down and away for ball one. Butler also has had trouble getting going tonight. Also a strikeout, a pop-out, and a fly-out. The fly-out was to left. The pop-up was to the second baseman, Bryce Martinez. Double play depth for the Tom Sox infield. Pickoff throw to first. from Arroyo, as the Cavaliers bullpen is quiet at the moment. Tom Sox got 2 in the second. Culpepper answered with 4 in the top of the fourth, and the 3-run home run from Alex Boucher in the bottom of the fifth put the Tom Sox back on top as another throw back to first. As the runner will square, the batter has squared each time. 1-0 the count. 1-run ball game. Arroyo fires with the left hand and misses just downstairs.
Terosian has a lot of speed off first base. Has stolen 9 bases so far this season, and it makes sense with a hitter like Butler who's struggling tonight, 0 for 3. Get a bunt down and have Terosian in scoring position with your 3, 4, 5 hitters due up.
He squares around once again, gets down a beauty. Coming off the mound to field it is Arroyo. He's going to have to hurry. Beats Butler to the bag by a step with the throw, and Boucher squeezes for out number 1. And it's a productive one for Culpepper. They get that lead runner over to second.
It's exactly what you want. It's prototypical baseball there for Connor Butler. Drop the bunt down, and now you have your leadoff hitter in Terosian with a lot of speed. Standing in scoring position, your 3, 4, 5 hitters due up now.
So Tom Sox pitching will be tested again here as David Coppage, the second baseman, the 3-hole hitter, is at the plate. He's got a single to his credit tonight, also a strikeout and a fly to right. Batting with a runner on second base. And 1 away, and he takes a curveball that tumbles in at the letters for a strike. Terosian, the runner on second, following a single and then a sacrifice bunt from Connor Butler. Arroyo, the Florida Gator, looks back, and he delivers. Check swing. Did he go? No. Pitch misses inside, 1-1. All Florida battery here for the Tom Sox with Salvi Alvarez suited up behind the plate. Outfield straight away for the Tom Sox, who cling to a 5-4 lead here in the 7th. The lefty Arroyo looks back, comes set. He kicks, he fires, that curveball misses outside. Tom Sox 2-0 against the Cavaliers so far this year. Both games up in Culpeper. Cavaliers will travel here one more time this season. The 2-1 is at the letters for strike 2, and another late call there. Good job there by Salvi Alvarez. I think he got that one for his pitcher.
We talked about framing earlier with Culpepper, but once again, Salvi Alvarez showing his framing abilities, putting it on display there, and getting a call for his battery mate and pitcher, Chris Arroyo.
So Coppage facing a 2-2 count from Arroyo. Lefty on righty as he hits this one a mile in the air, but out of play behind us.
That foul ball was sponsored by Taylor's Auto Body.
Arroyo just 5.1 innings overall at Florida this season. It's his first time on the mound for the Tom Sox. Also listed as an outfielder. With a 2-2 count to Coppage with 1 away. Hit on the ground to short. Couple of hops for Edwards. Fields double clutches. Throws across the diamond to Boucher at first for the out. No advancement from the runner. So a win there for the Tom Sox. Still got to contend with a runner in scoring position, but now there's 2 away.
Edwards did a good job fielding that ground ball and looking Terosian right back to the bag and making sure that he didn't advance on the throw, and just a routine play from the Tom Sox shortstop.
So that'll bring up a lefty-on-lefty matchup. The cleanup hitter, Kien Vu, who has been tough tonight here for the Cavaliers. He's got a double, a single, and Tom Sox got the better of him last time up in the 5th. He struck out, but a big battle here between the reliever Arroyo and the cleanup man Vu. The center fielder for the Cavaliers takes the first pitch inside. And Vu had a catch in center field way back in the 1st inning that saved a couple of runs. He ran probably about 30 or 40 yards to make a grab on the run. The 1-0. That one misses just outside, and now a hitter's count to the cleanup man.
Fu has really been impressive so far. You mentioned his ability defensively. He's 2 for 3 today, and just overall is having a really solid season. And he's a hitter that you don't want to see with runners in scoring position, but it's the situation that Lenny Coleman and his squad has dealt with so far.
2-0. Called a strike on a curveball at the letters. So Arroyo's gotten that call a couple times since he's come in. Big first strike there, and you do have a base open. A walk here does put the go-ahead run on aboard. Lefty on lefty, looking back to second. Now kicking and firing is Arroyo, and that ball is a mighty cut from Vu, but he comes up barely making contact, and it's a harmless foul ball back toward the left side.
Vu took a big swing on that last pitch from Arroyo there, was trying to make it a 6-4 ball game instead of a 5-4 ball game, but didn't get as much contact as he would have hoped to.
So that evens the count at 2-2 with a runner on second, 2 outs. Tom Sox up 5-4 in the top of the 7th. Arroyo looking back again to second. Now he comes set, takes a breath, fires, swing and a miss, strike 3 as Vu goes golfing, and a double bogey blues on the strikeout as Culpepper leaves a runner on base. 5-4 our score. The Tom Sox escape a jam here in the top of the 7th. We'll stretch at CHO Airport Field. This is Tom Sox TV. Bottom of the 7th here at CHO Airport Field. Tom Sox 5, Cavaliers 4, as it's 3, 4, and 5 for Charlottesville against Austin Tomasini, the reliever out of Mississippi State. Derek Williams digs in, the designated hitter for the Tom Sox, an Imperial, Missouri native, Florida Southwestern. And he will bat with the bases empty here in the bottom of the 7th inning and take a strike. Williams' bat has come to life both in exhibitions and in real games. He won the home run derby last week up in Front Royal and has 2 homers in the last 3 games for the Tom Sox. As he's up, now even in the count, 1-1. Florida Southwestern, of course, coached by Zach Cole, the former manager of the Waynesboro Generals, a Valley League veteran. That's tomorrow's opponent for the Tom Sox. The 1-1 to Williams, called a strike.
Williams' power has really been impressive to watch, and especially in the home run derby, too. I know before he started going, he came up to me and he goes, "Watch this, I'm going to put on a show, I'm going to win this." And I was doubting him, but 20 home runs later, and he's a home run derby champion.
He checks his swing on the 1-2. He held up 2-2. So you can say that you doubted him because he ended up winning the thing.
Exactly.
2-2 our count. Tom Sox up by a run here in the bottom of the 7th. Tomasini comes set, fires, and that one is hit off the fists in the air to right field, and that'll drop down for a Texas League single from about the man you least expect it from, Derek Williams, and his arms got to be ringing after that one. That one was in on the hands, but he hit it right where he needed to, and this is a big first base runner for the Tom Sox.
Williams has been on base 3 out of 4 times tonight, has walked twice, and now with a leadoff single, it's exactly what you want, especially in a ball game that has been this close. 5-4 is your score. You need as many base runners as possible. So now having Williams on, it opens up a lot of possibilities for the Tom Sox.
Time called. I think we're going to get a pinch runner here for Williams. Lyndon Coleman is out of the dugout talking to the umpire, and the batter coming up is Alex Boucher, who had the go-ahead 3-run home run. As coming on to pinch run and replacing Williams is going to be Sergio Rivera, so they're going to insert him in for base running purposes here with a 1-run lead in the late innings. So one Florida Southwestern player for another. One much faster Florida Southwestern player for another, which is the thought process here as Alex Boucher digs in and Derek Williams' night comes to an end. First pitch to Boucher is outside. Before that home run, he had struck out and walked, so that was the first ball he had put into play here on the evening. Just the second home run hit here at CHO Airport Field by Tom Sox batters. As the count 1-0 to him. Tomasini delivers, misses outside. Culpeper bullpen still quiet. Tom Sox have a righty throwing. And you got to tip your cap to Chris Arroyo for his relief work.
Believe it's Mike Eggert warming up for the Tom Sox. Eggert has really been impressive so far this season.
The 2-0 is downstairs. And now 3-0. Hat tip to Johnny Maltese keeping us involved, or keeping us informed with all those bullpens and substitutions. 3-0 the count. Stays upstairs for a ball, and that's a 0-out walk. And 2 runners on, nobody out. As the Tom Sox will now send to the plate Hollis Porter, the right fielder. And he is 0 for 3 today, a ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout. As they say, he's due. And a big spot for him here with his team looking for insurance.
This is something that we saw more at the beginning of the season with the Tom Sox, playing more small ball, but now with no outs and runners on first and second, potentially you could see Hollis Porter lay down a bunt and move those runners to second and third with only 1 out, and guys like Connor Hinks and David Wiley do up.
Time called by the catcher, Peterson. And we'll see indeed if we... And he's actually going to trot out to the mound here. Make sure everything's straight with his pitcher and the signs and all that. It's a very quick conference at the mound, but it'll be charged nonetheless. And looking ahead to who's coming up, you've got Hinks, who struck out twice and singled. And then Wiley, who is singled, grounded out, and struck out. So conference over at the mound. Porter, righty on lefty matchup with Tomasini. College teammates at Mississippi State. Porter squares around to bunt. The pitch is called a strike. The throw down to third as the runners go is not in time, and a double steal works out for the Tom Sox as they now have 2 in scoring position with nobody out. No need to bunt now.
That was the best possible scenario for the Tom Sox there. You don't have to lay down the bunt with Hollis Porter, and now you have 2 runners in scoring position, especially with a guy with Sergio Rivera that has that speed just 90 feet away. You have to bring the infield in, and the catcher, Peterson, has to do a good job blocking all the pitches down low.
And the Cavaliers do just that. Everybody's on the lip of the grass here in a 1-run ball game, bottom of the 7th, as Porter jumps out of the way of that one at his feet, and it's 1-1. So now Blue Pit scores 2, most likely. No doubles defense here from the Culpeper outfield. The 1-1 is sprayed foul down the left side. 1-2. As Culpeper gets a right-hander out there in the bullpen. Righty on lefty, Mississippi State on Mississippi State. 1-2 the count with nobody away. Second and third. Porter looks at a ball upstairs.
This is a big spot for Hollis Porter, too. Came into tonight hitting just .232 and has really been struggling and is 0 for 3 tonight. So look for him to put in a charge, and he is severely due.
Long look in from Tomasini. Now he comes set. From the belt. Dribbled on the ground. Picked up by the shortstop Butler. The throw home is too high. It gets by the catcher Peterson. the second runner comes around to score as well, and the Tom Sox get a big 2-out, 2-run infield single, and I believe we're going to have an error attached to that as well. It's now 7-4. Right idea there for the Culpeper infield. That's exactly why they brought them in, but a poor throw by Butler.
Butler needed to make an excellent throw, especially to nab the speedy Sergio Rivera, but the throw was high, which forced Ryan Peterson to jump. The ball went past him, and you have to give credit to Alex Boucher, who started on second base, never stopped running that entire way around. When he noticed that the ball got away from Peterson, came around to score. So 2 huge runs for the Tom Sox.
Credit to Hollis Porter putting the ball in play there for Connor Hinks now batting with a runner on second. Nobody out and 2 runs in here in the bottom of the second. Hinks squares around to bunt. It's a soft pop up to the mound. It'll drop a little bit short of the pitcher, Tomasini, who fields it, and a little extra oomph, he guns it over to first, beating the batter for an out by a step. And Hinks is retired, but it gets the runner back over to third with less than 2 outs. Now a fly ball gives you a 4-run lead.
It's exactly how to do it. Small ball to its finest. Then the Tom Sox laying bunts down. They haven't hit a ball out of the infield so far, but you put up 2 runs so far, and it's exactly what you needed now, making the game a 5-4 game to a 7-4.
Porter, the runner on third, 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th. 2 runs in for the Tom Sox, and the batter is Salvi Alvarez. Pardon me, the batter is David Wiley. Salvi Alvarez waits on deck. Shin guards still on his legs. 0-1 the count to Wiley. Infield still in for the Cavaliers as that one is fouled back out of play. 0-2.
That foul ball was sponsored by Carter Bank and Trust.
Sam Slevin is the arm getting loose in the bullpen, a right-hander for the Cavaliers. So we'll see if Tomasini can get through this inning here, as the 0-2 is hit in the air to short right field, and that'll sit down for a base hit. The runner at third, Porter, had to hold up to see if that ball was going to be caught, but after it sits down, he trots home, and now a base hit. An RBI single for the Tom Sox. David Wiley drives in the 3rd run of the inning. It's 8-4 now, Charlottesville.
It's been a perfect inning so far offensively for the Tom Sox, getting runners on, moving runners over, and this is exactly what you needed to do with the game being so close. You needed to get some insurance runs, and the Tom Sox have tacked on 3, and once again, just another piece of hitting from David Wiley, going with the off-speed pitch and sending it out in the right field, and the Sox are doing all the little things, and now they're up by 4 here at home.
And we're going to have a pitching change for the Cavaliers. Sam Slevin coming in to relieve Tomasini. Tomasini hands him the ball, and we'll use this time to pass along some Major League Baseball scores. There's actually 2 games going on right now. The Guardians have a 6-2 lead on the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley, bottom of the 9th, 1 out. That game just about to wrap up with, it looks like, probably a rain delay in that one because it's still late on a Sunday night. But the Sunday night baseball game on ESPN, the Mets and the Giants, the Mets have a 5-3 lead at Citi Field in the top of the 7th with 1 out and a runner on first base. The Baltimore Orioles defeating the Minnesota Twins 2-1 at Camden Yards, and the Braves finishing off a sweep of the Miami Marlins. Great final call from Brandon Gaudin saying the 3-day fish fry was complete as Atlanta sweeps that series at Truist Park. The Washington Nationals escape Philadelphia with a series win. They take the rubber match over the Phillies 5-4. The Red Sox also win 5-4 over the Toronto Blue Jays north of the border. Milwaukee Brewers take down the Pittsburgh Pirates 6-3 at PNC Park. And one of the nicest ballparks in Major League Baseball, in my opinion. The Reds win 4-3 over the Padres. The Royals defeat the Dodgers 9-1. And bad day for you, Alex. The St. Louis Cardinals take down the New York Yankees 5-1.
There's been a lot of those bad days so far this season for the Yankee fans. And, I mean, they picked up one yesterday in a bullpen game, but tough sledding against Oakland and St. Louis, 2 of the bottom feeders in the MLB. The Yankees going just 3-3 on that 6-game road trip.
And now it'll be Sam Slevin, who wears number 40, towing the rubber for the Culpeper Cavaliers. He comes in relief of Austin Tomasini. Slevin, native of Virginia Beach, Virginia, out of Randolph-Macon. And what do you have on him?
Well, the strikeout pitch is really what Slevin is known for. 22 strikeouts in 16 2/3 innings of work. has allowed a lot of runs so far, 13 earned in 8 appearances, pitching to the tune of a 7.2 ERA. Does have a 2-0 record and also has picked up a save this season.
He comes in with a runner on first, David Wiley. 1 out. Tom Sox have plated 3 here in this bottom of the 7th inning. Wiley is a runner inherited from the previous pitcher, Tomasini. And now Salvi Alvarez, the catcher, will bat with 1 away. Prime double play candidate if you're the Culpeper defense. And they've, of course, shifted the infielders back now with nobody on third base. And the first pitch from Slevin is right over the outer half for a strike. The 0-1. This is outside. Cavaliers, their first year in the league, making it an even number here with 12. No more divisions here, just every team plays every team 4 times. As the 1-1 is a fastball right over again for a strike, and Salvi a little upset with himself that he didn't swing at it. Well, the Tom Sox have given themselves some breathing room here in this bottom of the 7th inning. The 1-2, down and out. One of those rare games where you don't see a 1 on the scoreboard at all. It's been all crooked numbers or zeros.
The offense has shown up in bunches and in spades, and you have to give some credit to the Tom Sox relievers. They've really done a nice job. Guys like Chris Arroyo and really limited these Cavalier hitters.
The 2-2 is just outside from Slevin, and now the count runs full 3-2 with 1 away, and maybe we'll see the runner take off here. Wiley with a lot of speed there at first base. The kick, the delivery from Slevin is fouled back.
Would be an interesting decision to put Wiley in motion. He does have 6 stolen bases so far this season, and with the double play still being in effect, could be a hit and run spot with 1 out.
Full count. Righty on righty matchup. Slevin peers in. Runner takes off. That one is swung on and hit into right center field. Long run coming over. Making the catch is Keith Savoy, trying to get the double play over at first base, and they do. A nice scoop out of the dirt by the first baseman, Reese Beeler, and a base running mistake there by David Wiley as he is doubled off. But the Tom Sox explode for 3 runs, and the scoreboard looks a little bit better here as we go to the 8th. It's 8-4 over Culpeper here on Tom Sox TV. Sox sticking with Chris Arroyo, the left-hander, who's had the hot hand on the mound the last couple of innings, as the lead a little bit bigger now after a 3-run bottom of the 7th inning. Culpeper will send to the plate 5, 6, and 7 as Alex, Tom Sox defense has looked solid in all but 1 inning so far.
It's been an excellent pitching performance so far for the Tom Sox, and you mentioned just the 1 inning, and That's where this Culpeper Cavalier team exploded for 4 runs in the 4th inning. But if you take the 4th inning away, the Tom Sox pitching staff has really done a nice job, and you have to give credit to a guy like Chris Arroyo in his debut. Pitching 1 2/3 innings, has only allowed 1 hit and struck out 2.
Arizona State's Reese Beeler, the first baseman, will lead things off here in the top of the 8th inning. Lefty-on-lefty matchup. Mike Eggert continues to throw in the Tom Sox bullpen. This one is up the elevator shaft, right side of the infield. Will it stay in fair territory for Boucher to play? It will, as he makes the catch a couple steps to the left of the bag, and that's the first out here in the top of the 8th.
Well, there's a lot of lefties in the latter half of this Cavalier lineup. Beheeler's a lefty, and then 7, 8, 9 in Crawford, Peterson, and Fitzwater, all lefties. So if Arroyo can manage to get Savoy out here, it's going to be, there was more favorable matchups, the lefty-lefty matchups that Lyndon Coleman desperately wanted earlier in tonight's game.
Arroyo facing Savoy, the right fielder, who made a nice catch and throw for that double play to end the Tom Sox 7th inning, taking a ball 1-0. Savoy out of Georgetown. So this is actually the second game he's played in Charlottesville this season, because Georgetown came and played at UVA this in a midweek game during this college season. Of course, that time he was playing against the Cavaliers. This time he's playing for the Cavaliers. And he's got a 1-0 count with the bases empty. And 1 away. Hits this one on the ground to short. Nice stab over at third. Going to the ground, Connor Hinks. And coming up and making the throw across the diamond to Boucher at first in time. 5-3, great play.
Connor Hanks flashed in the leather over there at the hot corner, going to his backhand, making the sliding stop, and delivering the strong throw over to Alex Boucher at first base. And there hasn't been a lot of excellent defensive plays tonight, but that was at the top. You have to give a round of applause there to Connor Hinks.
That's what they would call web gems back on Baseball Tonight. There's now another lefty-on-lefty matchup with the bases empty. One and 0 the count as the first pitch misses outside to Charles Crawford. Crawford takes another ball outside, of course playing against his former VBL team. You'll see that from time to time. A couple nights ago we had Drew Jones from Stanton, who had played the first couple weeks of the season here in Charlottesville. As a 2-0 pitch from Arroyo comes in over the outside corner for a strike. Tom Sox got 2 in the 2nd, 3 in the 5th, and 3 in the 7th. And a lone 4 spot in the 4th for the Culpeper Cavaliers makes up this margin, as the 2-1 misses downstairs. 3-1. Tom Sox will host Waynesboro tomorrow and then have July 4th off, as the whole league will do so. That one is on the ground, skimming the grass. Edwards, one-handed glove at short, and over to Boucher at first, and that'll retire the side here in the top of the 8th. 1-2-3 go the Cavaliers here in the 8th inning. To the bottom half we go. Tom Sox doubling them up. It's 8-4 here on Tom Sox TV. New pitcher into the game for Culpeper in the bottom of the 8th. Ben Ayala, the right-hander, Elkhorn, Nebraska native, Creighton Blue Jay. And Alex, we actually have some numbers on this guy for once.
That we do, and Ben Ayala coming in. This is his 5th appearance so far this season. Has worked in at 10 2/3 innings. Has allowed 8 hits, 7 earned runs, but the major stat that jumps out to me, 17 walks in those 4 appearances. If he can get his control and his command down, he'd have a lot more success out on the mound. Is pitching to a 5.91 ERA in those 4 appearances.
He'll face 9-1-2 as the throw goes down to second base and actually into center field, as things have fallen apart a little bit for the Culpeper Cavaliers in these late innings. And really the game changer of this game, I thought, was Brady Gumpf throwing out a Culpeper runner to end that 4th inning, which is the only inning Culpeper scored on a potential sacrifice fly, and it's been all Tom Sox since then.
That's exactly right. Brady Gumpf's defensive play gave the team a lot of momentum offensively, and you saw Alex Boucher hit a crucial 3-run home run, and then just getting contributions up and down its bullpen from Luke Cavalier and Chris Arroyo. The bullpen has been filthy and really held the Cavalier hitters at bay.
And it is Brady Gumpf leading things off here in the bottom of the 8th inning with his team ahead by 4, taking a ball upstairs from Ayala. Ayala looking like he wants to work quickly. The 1-0 is hit on the ground to short. Butler, couple of steps over to his right. High throw, but able to haul it in and keep his foot on the bag is Beeler, the first baseman, 6-3 on the putout. Kyle Edwards will dig in now for the Tom Sox. At bat number 5, he is 2 for 4. Officially, he's been on base 3 times. Single, double, reached on an error, and he struck out swinging his last time at the plate. Against Ayala for the first time tonight, takes a strike over the outer half. Tom Sox 2 in the 2nd, 3 in the 5th, 3 in the 7th, 4 in the 4th for Culpeper. It's the 0-1 to Edwards on a curveball, which misses inside. Edwards out of Old Dominion, Chesapeake, Virginia native. On a 1-1 count, that ball in the dirt. And Edwards opened the scoring back in the 2nd inning with that 2-run double. Gave the Tom Sox the early lead. Culpeper took the 4-2 lead after 3.5. 2-1 the count now to Edwards with 1 away and the bases empty. And that one buzzes the tower. Sends Kyle strolling out of the batter's box. As Bryce Martinez waits on deck. 3-1 the count, and that one bounces in the dirt and gets by the catcher, and Edwards will have a free pass to first base as Tom Sox get a 1-out base runner.
Kyle has had a lot of success against Culpeper so far this season. He became the first Tom Sox player this year to have a 4-hit game, hit 2 doubles in the first matchup with these two teams, that one coming back on June 4th. And here tonight has been on base 4 out of the 5 times at bat, and that is exactly what you want from your leadoff hitter.
So Bryce Martinez now coming to the plate. He's 0 for 4, but he reached on an error in the 1st inning. And the first pitch sails over the head of the catcher, Peterson. And that one will allow Edwards to trot down to second and get into scoring position with his team up 4. I don't think the Jolly Green Giant even would have had a chance at that one. So 1-0 the count now to Martinez as the heavy hitters of the Tom Sox coming to the plate here. It'll be Sergio Rivera on deck. He pinch ran for Derek Williams as the 1-0 comes in high again. Not quite as high as it's able to be caught by Peterson. But Rivera remained in the game as the designated hitter. He'll bat next. Runner in scoring position here for the 2-hole hitter, Bryce Martinez. 2-0 the count. With 1 away upstairs. That's Kyle Edwards on second base. Tom Sox will host Waynesboro right back here tomorrow. And then after having July 4th off as the 3-0 is in there for a strike, we'll host the Covington Lumberjacks, who they just beat last night. That's a makeup game from June 17th. That game will be on the 5th right here at CHO Airport Field. 3-1 the count now to Martinez, who has the bat on his shoulder. 3-1 inside for ball 4, and now runners on first and second with one away.
Well, we talked about command being an issue for Ayala with 17 walks in 10 innings, and just like that, gets the first out of Gump, but back-to-back walks to Edwards and Martinez, and now you're facing the 3, 4, 5 hitters in the Tom Sox lineup with 2 runners on base and 2 of Charlottesville's faster runners, so not the spot that you want to be in, trailing by 4 runs if you're Culpepper and especially Ben Ayala.
First at-bat of the game for Sergio Rivera out of Bayamon, Puerto Rico. Another one of those Florida Southwestern guys who replaced one of his college teammates, Derek Williams, on the base paths. He takes a pitch upstairs. Of course, Florida Southwestern managed by Zach Cole, formerly of the Waynesboro Generals. You saw Rivera with Alex a couple weeks ago on Tom Sox TV doing some magic tricks. The 1-0 is downstairs.
I definitely didn't know that he knew a lot of magic, and some of the tricks that he had pulling stuff out, it's very impressive stuff.
Check that out in case you missed it on Tom Sox TV. Same place where you watch these games. 2-0 the count with one away. First and second. From the stretch, Ayala looks back to second, now time called, and a pitch clock violation will make it 3-0.
Well, you saw Kyle Edwards dancing over there at second base trying to distract Ayala from home plate, and it worked out, got the pitch violation, and Rivera sitting pretty up 3-0.
Base umpire will keep the time, similar to the back judge with the play clock in football, and predictably, the 3-0 pitch is nowhere near the strike zone, and the Tom Sox now have the bases loaded, and time called by the catcher Peterson for a quick walk out to the mound. With somebody for the Tom Sox who's already put his stamp on this game coming to the plate, cleanup man Alex Boucher.
What's not the spot to be in if you're Ben Ayala now with the bases loaded after 3 straight walks, and you're facing Alex Boucher is 1 for 2, and the one hit being a 3-run home run is also reached twice on 2 walks, and Boucher really having a solid game at the plate. And now with runners on every base, he's looking pretty to tack on more RBIs.
There's a 10-run rule in effect here in the Valley League. If the Tom Sox score 6 in this inning, the game will end. So the mound visit is over. There's nobody in the bullpen for Culpepper, so as I believe their 3rd conference charge is home plate umpire Rob Roop, who's done a fantastic job tonight along with his partner in the field, the wily veteran Fred Shaner. And with one away, bases loaded, here comes Boucher. Ayala delivers, fastball outside. From Ayala. Misses just upstairs on a check swing. He held up. So the Tom Sox looking for win number 4 in a row, following a bunch of rainouts and a loss to Newmarket to open things after the All-Star break on Tuesday. Here's the 2-0 outside for ball 3, and you wonder if Culpepper's is going to let sink or swim with Ayala here in this inning. He's in danger of walking his 4th batter in a row following an opening ground out as he winds up the 3-0, misses outside, and another run comes home for the Tom Sox. The leadoff hitter Kyle Edwards touches the plate, and it's 9-4.
Well, Charlottesville hitters are just taking what Ayala's giving him. He hasn't found the strike zone in the last few batters, and Charlottesville is completely content with walking their way around the bases.
We have a pinch hitter now for Hollis Porter. It'll be Garrett Spikes, so an SEC for SEC swap. Georgia's Spikes for Mississippi State's Porter. And if we get to the top of the 9th, Spikes will probably slide in here in the 9th inning in right field. Spikes takes a strike, and his comeback to this team in his 3rd year of service earns him the mantle of Mr. Tom Sox, which he stole right from Kyle Edwards, as Mr. Tom Sox takes a big swing and misses on a ball in the dirt 0-2.
Spike's looking to put a charge into that ball and break this game open even more and tack on even more insurance runs.
He's got home run power. We've seen it here at this ballpark before. 0-2, and Spikes wisely lays off that one, 1-2. He had a walk-off double in a game against Harrisonburg last season that almost got out of here. But I've seen him hit a few. The 1-2 to Spikes. This one is above the infield, not nearly deep enough to do any kind of damage. In fact, it's going to be called an infield fly and bagged by the shortstop, Connor Butler. So much ado about nothing for the new arrival, Garrett Spikes, who heads back to the dugout with his helmet in hand. And it'll be up to Connor Hinks to keep things going for the Tom Sox.
Spike's just getting underneath that last swing and popping it right up on the infield. But you can tell the power is there and getting more comfortable as Spike's just made his return back to Charlottesville earlier this week.
Connor Hinks has sacrificed. He's hit a single and he's struck out twice. And he has made a really good play in the field as he takes the ball up and away. Had a sliding stab at third base to Rob Savoy of the Cavaliers as he swings at that one and fouls it back 1-1. 9-4 the score. Tom Sox have taken control of this game in the late innings, like arm wrestling, when your opponent just gets a little tired and you're able to pin them. The 1-1 stays downstairs for ball 2. Culpepper does now have a right-hander warming in the bullpen, and I think Mike Eggert continues to throw for Lyndon Coleman's bunch. I wonder if we'll see him in the 9th inning. 2-1 the count now. Inside, ball 3, and now it's 3-1. We've had 4 bases on balls issued by Ayala here in this inning. 3-1 with 2 away, bases loaded. Big leads for the runners. Ayala fires. That one called a strike at the letters. And this will get the merry-go-round started with 2 away. 3-2, 2 away. Ayala winds up. There go the runners, and that one is hit off the fists on the ground to short. Coming up, the third baseman making the barehanded play, and the throw over to first is not in time. And because the runners got a head start on that infield single, 2 runs are going to come home and make it 11-4 for the Tom Sox.
Sergio Rivera looked like he was shot out of a cannon running around the bases. The lead and the jump that he had off of second base, just a slow dribbler there by Hinks. Nothing the Cavalier defense could really do. But with the runners moving and the speed of Rivera off second base, there was no stopping him. And just like that, a ball that doesn't leave the infield is a 2 RBI single for Connor Hinks.
Baseball can be baseball sometimes, as a wise man who sat in this chair once said a few years ago. And now first and third with 2 away, 11-4 Tom Sox in front, and David Wiley coming to the plate. The first pitch buzzes the tower. Runner takes off from first, and obviously no play there. So second and third now with 2 away. Wiley has a couple of singles tonight. He's also struck out and grounded out. So he'll be the 8th hitter that the Tom Sox have sent to the plate. They've plated 3 here in this bottom of the 8th inning. 10-run rule in effect. 3 more runs would end it here in the 8th as a strike taken by Wiley on the inner half. The 1-1 is hit on the ground to third, gloved on a high hop by the third sacker, Charles Crawford, and he guns it across the diamond in time for the out, but not before the Tom Sox add even more insurance. It's a 7-run margin as we go to the top of the 9th over Culpeper. 11-4 right here on Tom Sox TV. Tom Sox will turn to a brand new arm here to close out the ninth in this 11-4 ball game here at CHO Airport Field. Caleb Ketchy, out of Longwood University, a native of Pelham, North Carolina, 6 feet, 225 pounds, sophomore, and clean slate here for Ketchy as he comes in a low-pressure situation.
Ketchy is making his Charlottesville Tom Sox debut, and you mentioned the low stakes. It certainly helps when your team puts up 6 runs in the last 2 innings, and you have a 11-7 lead, or 11-4 lead, rather. But Ketchy looking to get some work here, making his Tom Sox debut.
7-11, all you're doing is making me think about my post-game Slurpee here as 3 outs to get for the Tom Sox with an 11-4 margin. And they will face 8-9-1 here for Culpeper. It's the catcher Peterson, Ryan Peterson, leading things off, who has struck out, walked, and flown out to left field. Tom Sox with 3 in the 7th and 3 in the 8th to really wrestle control of this game away from the Culpeper Cavaliers, and it was tight through 6 complete. As Ketchy kicks, fires, and misses down and in. And this is one where all you need to do is throw strikes. Your defense has played pretty well here in the second half of this ball game. Salt away another win here as Ketchy, the Pelham, North Carolina native, catches the outer half for a strike. Pelham and Caswell County, just south of the Virginia line on US 29. One and one the count, nobody out, nobody on here in the ninth. Ketchy fires, misses upstairs, and it's 2-1. Plays collegiately at Longwood down in Farmville, about an hour and 15 minutes from here. The 2-1 with the bases empty. Ketchy fires, and that ball is fouled back. 2-2. The rising sophomore at Longwood. Longwood participants in the 2022 NCAA basketball tournament, where they were defeated by Tennessee in that first round. Their first appearance in tournament history, as that one was in the dirt, now 3-2. Looks like Ketchy laboring a little bit on the mound here.
It's taking time for him to adjust, and it's his debut. You have a 7-run lead, and you're working with a catcher that you don't really have a whole lot of experience with in Salvi Alvarez, so could just take him a few pitches and a few batters to get underneath him.
Here's the 3-2, the kick, the delivery, and that one is high and outside for ball 4, so a leadoff walk for the Culpeper Cavaliers, and the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. If they're going to get back into this ball game, that's the start they need.
Batting for Culpeper, designated hitter number 20, Grayson Fitzwater.
Got to bring up Grayson Fitzwater, the designated hitter, who drove home a couple of those runs in the 4th with a nice double down the right field line, beating the grasp of first baseman Alex Boucher, who one-upped him a couple innings later with that 3-run homer. Actually, 1 inning later. As Fitzwater hits this one sharply up the middle, and it's going to get through on a line for a single, and the runner had to hold up to make sure that diving Martinez couldn't make the play as Peterson lands safely on second. So now first and second for Culpeper. Not going quietly are the Cavaliers, as they'll get the top of the order up with Tarosian.
That ball was stung there by Grayson Fitzwater, lining that right back up the middle, and looked for a second that Bryce Martinez almost had a play on it over there at second base. Would have been a spectacular grab, but ball just avoids his grasp, and just like that, first 2 runners on to start off this top of the ninth.
So Tarosian, who recorded his first base hit of the game, his last time at the plate in the 7th, he's 1 for 4. As a train goes by, again reminiscent of Texas A&M's Olson Field, 1-0. Now the count is that one was upstairs. Tom Sox will take on Waynesboro right back here tomorrow. Take July 4th off and then host Covington. As a nice fastball there by Ketchy. Swing and a miss, 1-1. looking for win number 13 on the season. This is game number 20 for the Tom Sox. We are approaching the midway point of this Valley Baseball League season. First and second for the Cavaliers. They trail by 7. Nobody out here in the top of the ninth. Swing and a miss. Make it a foul tip, 1 and 2, into the mid of Salvi Alvarez. Get the feeling if you just record that first out, that's what settles you down on the mound as a pitcher. Catchy looking for it here. Little 1-2. Just misses outside. Thought we might get to see that old school punch out one more time from our home plate umpire. But the count is even. Butler on deck. 2 and 2 the count with nobody out. Curveball misses in the dirt. 3 and 2.
Not the spot that you want to be in if you're Catchy, clearly laboring there out on the mound and had some momentum against erosion there, but now with the count full and 2 runners on base, he has to make sure that he gets this crucial out.
From the stretch, coming set at the belt. Kicks, right-handed delivery, and a swing, and a foul tip again, right into Alvarez's mitt. And that is the big first out that the Tom Sox needed. Good call there, Alex. And 2 outs away now from salting this game.
It's a big strikeout, and look for Catchy to start to get more comfortable like we've talked about. Getting that first out allows you to get into a rhythm, slow things down, and start pitching the way that you would like to be pitching.
Here's Connor Butler, the shortstop. Tough night at the dish for him. Couple of flyouts. A strikeout and a sacrifice bunt. Fouls that one out of play, 0-1. Butler, Chesapeake, Virginia native. Out of Radford. First and second for the Cavaliers. 1 away. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Alvarez wanted to make the snap throw back to first base, but Boucher, the first baseman, was a little bit late getting over to cover, and no throw was made. But 0-2 the count now for Catchy as he looks in. Tom Sox up 11-4, looking for win number 4 in a row. The 0-2 bounces in the dirt, 1 and 2. Cavaliers would drop to 9 and 14 on the season with a loss. 6 runs over the last 2 innings for the Tom Sox. And the 3-run homer from Alex Boucher in the 5th gave them the lead for good. Here's the 1-2 from Catchy, fouled back, and you heard it rattle the fence there. One and 2 the count, 1 away. First and second. Infield at double play depth. Long look in from Catchy. He kicks, he fires, and that one gets by Alvarez, the catcher. Runner was late making the break from second. He'll get there safely. Will Ryan Peterson, there was no advancement from first, so it's now first and third with 1 out.
Peterson was confused where the ball was at, wasn't sure, couldn't tell from his vantage point that the ball was just underneath Alvarez, and took a while, but got a late jump, but motored in a third. Alvarez took a little bit to retrieve the ball, and now the Cavaliers have runners on the corners and 1 out.
2 and 2 now, 1 away. Fitzwater remains on first. The kick, the delivery from Catchy misses inside, and Tom Sox have someone just up in the bullpen, not really throwing, just up, standing there. Lyndon Coleman is on his feet at the edge of the dugout fence. 3 and 2 now, the count. Catchy and Butler. This one is hit on the ground. Edwards, 6, 4, 3. The throw is high. The tag is put down. Turn it over, and you can put Sox on this one. Edwards to Martinez, over to Boucher at first, and the Tom Sox put on an offensive display in the last 2 innings of this game, running away from the Charlottesville Cavaliers. The final is 11-4.
Well, Luke, it was an impressive performance tonight for the Tom Sox on all accounts. The offense showed up in bunches, tallying 11 runs, and if you take out that 4-run outburst for the Cavaliers, the Tom Sox pitching staff was shut down all game long, and especially the bullpen. Guys like Chris Arroyo, Caleb Ketchie out to close out the ninth, but especially Luke Calveric, all getting solid contributions up and down the bullpen. This is exactly what you want to see, and now make it 4 straight for the Sox.
And it bears repeating that we go back to that top of the 4th inning, Brady Gumpf catching the fly ball, throwing out the Culpepper runner at the plate, really swinging the momentum in the Tom Sox favor.
That's exactly right. Brady Gumpf made a fantastic play out in the outfield, and then just the next inning over, that play happened in the 4th inning. Then in the 5th, it was Alex Boucher who crushed a huge 3-run home run, and the Sox didn't look back from there.
Definitely not. 11-4 the final line score. 11 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for the Tom Sox, 4 runs, 7 hits, 4 runs for the Culpeper Cavaliers. Tom Sox will be right back in action 21 hours from now. The Waynesboro Generals come to town for what was formerly a South Division matchup, and Charlottesville and the Generals will tangle tomorrow on the eve of America's birthday. One more time, our final score, the Tom Sox 11, the Culpeper Cavaliers 4. For Alex Rocco, my name is Luke Ned Carney. Have a good night, everyone. We'll talk to you next time.